Welcome to this episode of Mark Menendez Bass TV. Got old Squarebill in the fall. Good breezy, bright day. Let's see what we can crank up on Mark Menendez Bass TV.
A shallow crankbait bite can be one of the funnest ways to catch bass in the fall. It's also one of Mark's favorite ways to power fish. Bumping covers such as stumps, stick-ups, and laydowns produces some amazing strikes and big bass. Mark is going to start off with the old trusty KVD 1.5 Squarebill.
Typical fall day. Windy, high, blue skies, tough fishing conditions. How do I attack it? From every angle possible, literally. This crankbait is the four-wheel drive of all crankbaits, and it can go through, over, and around cover really well when you guide it through there. I'll be throwing next to the cover, through the cover, twitch it, make it pause, but what I want to do is make it do something erratic. Either bump the cover and bounce off of it, or swim it right through there and stop it, such that that fish can see it. We've got to trigger them this time of year. Starting to lose some of the water temperature. It's getting a little cooler, but yet it's still pretty warm water in the mid to upper 70s. And this is how I will trick them, is with a Squarebill. So, Strike King 1.5, I'd give a nickel for every fish that I've caught on one of these things. But it is one of the absolute best in the business when it comes to this type of fishing. Your job with a crankbait is to either A, make sure it's hitting the bottom, scooting, making that deflection, or if it's between the top and the bottom, creating enough erratic action to make it look like it deflects off the bottom or deflects off of a piece of cover. So you'll see my rod tip up, you'll see me pump it a time or two, you'll see me stop, start, speed up. I'll do all kinds of things trying to figure out how to make that fish bite. There's something just chased a big wad of bait right there. Almost fish it a little bit like a jerk bait. This is Tennessee Shad 2.0, dark back, green sides with a white belly. I want that white belly to have that flash. So when I pop it, pause it, twitch it, that white belly pulses the color. That's what makes that fish bite it. Just have to bring it through there. Sometimes you have to bring it through there multiple times to get their attention. Piece of wood right there, come by at different angles. You got to do lots of different things in the fall to get them to bite. They can be inches deep, they can be 25, 30 feet deep. We're gonna probe the upper part of the water column with this and try to hit the cover, get it around the cover to get them to bite by making multiple casts. And we're really going to pay attention to anything that's laying down in the water today. Anything that's laying down. A little bitty one, it feels like. Yep, little guy. He's just about the same size as my plug. About the same size as my plug. You'll get big one of these days.
Dissecting cover is just as important as picking the right type of lure. Mark is confident in the Squarebill. Now he's just fine-tuning his presentation and where he wants to throw it. Bass tend to gang up around specific pieces of cover during the fall. So once Mark gets a bite, he's going to make multiple casts to it.
This time of year, in the fall, your bait fish are generally an inch, inch and a half long. That's your threadfin shad. That's why I love this Tennessee Shad 2.0 color, it's because the way it's shaded. See that white belly? See when that bait pulses, when it's wiggling along and it pulses and it throws that white belly? That throws flash. That's just like a group of shad, and as you see one flash and it moves. That's what's so important about this bait. The size of it and the way it comes through cover. But if I'm in a lake that has got more gizzard shad in it, or bigger threadfin shad, I'll move to the bigger 2.5. This is the same bait, just a little bit bigger body. Now this bait will dive a little deeper, so I may go to 20-pound test line just to keep that bait up higher in the water column. Gizzard shad 2.5, threadfin shad 1.5. Okay, we're off to the races. Nice bass right there, boy. I mean, he's got it too. He's got it. Off to the races. There we go. I think he broadsided that one, do you? Wearing it on his chin. 1, 2, 3, get up here. Think he wasn't bullseyeing that. It's a good bass. Love this bait. I'd give a nickel for every fish I've caught on this bait. This time of year, we could go out to lunch, that's for sure. I don't know, he's got it in there to just, that's the way you want to get them. There we go. Good little bass. All right. Let's see if we can get another one. I believe there's a few more right there, as hard as that one hit. I believe there's a few more. You know, this Squarebill is all part of a system as far as rod, reel, line. I use a composite rod so that I don't feel the crankbait near as well as I would with a graphite rod, slower action. I use 15 to 17 with this little bait, pound Seaguar, a Brazex line because I'm bouncing it off of cover on wood and fishing around heavy stuff, so I need stout line, and then a 6.8 to 1 Team Lews light reel. The 6.8 to 1, I can move it fast, can take a lot of line up, or I can just wind it slow and kind of slow roll it. So I've got a whole system developed in this rod and reel just for this strategy. He's got me handcuffed. That's the reason for this composite rod. Get on up here and join us. He hit me right at the boat. The rod saved me on that one. I allowed him to get that hook just good enough. Hello, keeper. Hey, what are you doing trying to do me that way? You hit it with about 6 feet of line out. Got it. Took it off the stump from me. How about that? That happens occasionally. Don't keep it off of there. That's a special fish right there. I was hung on that stump. I'm trying to get it off there by bow and arrowing it, and then next thing I know, when it comes off, it just gets it. He's looking right at it and gets it. How about that? There we go. Pulled it right off the stump. I mean, that will happen occasionally in the fall. Good fish. I'm hung on that stump with the crankbait. I'm like, oh gee, I really screwed that up. So I'm popping it like a bow and arrow, and he takes it off of there for me. How about that? Fantastic. Thanks, big guy. I'd rather be lucky than good any day. That was a little bit of lucky fishing right there. Wow. There's another one off the same stump. Off the same stump. That's why it's always so important to make another cast to your very same stump when you've had a fish bite there. How about that? Go for a three-peat. I did it again. Oops, I did it again. And this one is grown. I'm hung in some fishing line or something. Jumped out of it, maybe. Nope. I'm hung in fishing line. He's got it choked. That's the 4th bite on this one stump. Yeah, that's fishing line right there. That's what I got hung in. This guy. fish. Don't want to reach around and get him like that, but I got him. Oh, goodness, what a cluster this is. All right, I've got a little. How about that? That is multiple fish off that same deal. That is the fourth or fifth bite off that same deal. I got all kinds of fun right here, right now. Get out of here. Take care of this fish real quick. Got a little bit of a prick back there. Out of that, I'm going to the cooler. Going to grab a drink and show you how to save this fish's life. Get a carbonated drink here. He's bleeding a little bit. Got a little prick there. The carbonic acid in this drink will hit that wound and bubble up, and it will coagulate that little injury. He'll be fine. He will be fine. Watch him swim off. Get out of here. Now I can finish the rest of it with a cold drink. How about that? 4 bites on one stump.
The Stump has produced multiple fish and multiple back-to-back casts. From small bass to healthy adult bass. There is something special about this Stump, and Mark knows it. He's going to keep casting his Strike King Squarebill until they stop eating it or he loses his bait.
1.5 getting it done on one stump. That's what is so critical about making multiple presentations. Get a bite and make it again. I've said it 1,000 times. 4 bites like this. Bites. That's how they'll get ganged up in the fall. They'll get in a little wolf pack and get on one little place. Get 3 or 4 bites. Bow and arrow trick is a pretty good little trick. Lay down a log coming out here to the left. Another log coming off the top of that. A big one right there. Golly, we are in trouble. Come on there. Stay on there. Look at that one. Look at that big job. I don't know how bad he's hurt my line. Came off that same darn stump. Look at this big old headed thing right here. Ah, easy now, baby. Oh, golly. That's a true giant fish right there. Don't you jump, don't you jump, don't you jump. I can't get out of the water, he's so big. Golly, that is a mammoth. Open your big mouth. I got you, dude. Look at that one. Same stump. I have train wrecked it. I've gotten hung. I pulled line off of it. And I got him with one little bitty hook. That is a jammer. A jammer. Look at that one. How about that? Oh my goodness, my heart is just pounding. I have no idea how bad that line's hurt. He had me hung up in there. That is a show enough good one. How about that? Get out of here. Go. Just caught that big fish off that same magic stump that I've already caught 4 off of. But that fish hung me up. So you have got to check your line. Yep, there's a nick right there. There's a little nick right there. And retie often when you're bouncing a crankbait, spinnerbait, worm, or jig off of cover. That is the, I've about lost count how many bites that's been, but I know I've landed 3 or 4 off of it. The magic stump. So I'm just checking that line. Oh, there's another bad spot in it right there. That's the magic of InvisX and AbrazeX. It was such strong line, I would have never caught that had I not had super abrasive resistant line. That one got me hung in that stump twice, not once, but twice. About every one of those fish have got me hung on that stump. There must be 50 pounds on that, who knows? That's what's so crazy about the fall. They will get in one, they'll want to get in one place. Ambush, bait fish. Can you guess where my next cast is going to be? I bet you $1 he's seen.
Mark has given the stump a rest, exploring other similar spots around the lake, and he's caught a few more bass. Even the camera guy got in on the crankbait action. Now it's back to work to finish out the day.
A piece of wood, I mean, he has the whole bait gone. Whole bait is gone. I don't even see it. I don't even see my bait. Oh, he has got it. It is totally gone. There we go. You think you got the whole bait? Dead up bullseye on that one. Bullseye on that one. Let's do a little dentistry work here. One out of him. That one way back there too. He swiped it. Got it right there. Get out of there now. Careful. Must have been a piece of cover there I didn't see. But he came and got it. How about that? Swallowed that dude. Get out of here. Another nice one. 1.5. Check it line. Everything's A-okay. Back in for another round of that. I like that. We've gotten on a merry-go-round. And what I mean by that is our magic stump's right here in front of us. We left it for about 25 or 30 minutes. Perused around, caught 4 or 5 more fish, a couple of good fish. But I'm making a point, hopefully, to be able to illustrate when you leave a structure like that, a piece of cover like that, whatever, and you've caught multiple fish on it, if you'll leave it for a minute, it'll calm back down and those fish that are out in the peripheral may suck to it and you might get another bite. In the fall, I visit productive areas multiple times, particularly multiple times to a particular target. So I do this on most reservoirs, rivers, wherever I find an area that I've caught several fish, I'm going to come back to it in a day's time. But I have to manage my fish like on a 4-day elite series. I can't come up here the first day and catch 25 or 30 bass off of one place. I'll catch 4 or 5 or 6, cull once or twice, get out of there, come back the next day and get some more. But like I said, we've left it for about 30 minutes. Hopefully we'll get another bite off of it. There he is. Another bass off of it, just a little guy. Just a little guy. I'm hitting that stump. It's got one leg that sticks out. And that's where most of those good fish came from. So on that back side, crank it down. There's the edge of the stump. There's the leg, and I'm just continually retrieving it over that leg. There's a big one. He was in an inch of water. Right down the end of that darn thing, he gobbled it. Stay on there, buddy. He's just got one hook in him. He was up there in just about 6 inches of water there. Got a good hook in him. He came back, got another hook in him then. All right, come here. Come here, big guy. All right. There you go. All right. Fall cranking. The old 1.5 came through for us today. I hope you learned something today on this episode of Mark Menendez Bass TV. Come back and watch us again, and hopefully we'll show you how to catch some more just like that. See you next week.
Mark Menendez Bass TV is brought to you by Skeeter Boats, Seaguar. Lews, feel the difference. Strike King Lure Company. Motorguide, never stop. Closed captioning provided by DyeSafe.